I'm live. How we doing tonight? Let's get this centered. All right. I'll just wait for YouTube to give me confirmation that I'm live. And then we're off to the races. There's my confirmation that I'm live. So, early results. Popular vote. Trump at pretty much 7.5 million. Harris at 5.9 million. Decided electoral college votes. Trump at 23, Harris at 3. Trump leading in Ohio, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. And Harris leading in North Carolina, Virginia, New Hampshire. And at 8 o'clock, 5 minutes, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, all of those can start reporting. I don't know why they're not calling Florida for Trump. 80% of votes counted. He's 5 million votes. Harris is 4 million votes. I don't know how you're going to close that gap with 20% left to go. I'm not sure why they're not calling Florida. Georgia is 60-40 for Trump. South Carolina right now, 60-40 for Trump. Ohio, 53-45. But in all fairness, these are states that pretty much we're going to go to Trump anyways. It's like watching the Canadian election. They start in the East Coast and they start going across. So the Liberals have a lead right away because they usually do well in the Atlantic provinces. So it looks like, oh my God, the Liberals are already way ahead. You got to wait until you get across the country. So nothing here is surprising. Georgia's a big one for Trump. Pennsylvania will be key. Anyways, I've already did a trade. You have till 8 o'clock to do after hours trading, and then you have to switch to nighttime trading or overnight trading. I don't know if any of you have overnight trading, but on GLOBEX you should be able to access overnight trading. I hit IWM at 227.50. I got a short out at Tesla at 263. I saw it at 263. I put my short in. It pulled down, but I'm looking at 263. SPY, I've got a short. I'm going to be adding throughout the night on the short position. I got a short in on SPY right now, 580.80. We're at 579.30. Some euphoria for Trump. And TLT, I mean, half an hour ago, it was over 93, and then it just took a dump. And I was wondering, is the long end of the curve a Fed trade or a Trump trade? This is telling me it's a Trump trade, which I think will be overdone. So I'm looking to pick up TLT, more TLT as the night moves on. Ohio just flipped Democrat. Ohio just flipped to Harris just now as we're talking. So let's answer some questions here. Let's see what we have. Position in TLT with both stocks and options, with the delta dollars being 200, roughly equals a 2K move up or down for every 1% change. Well, if you told me you had all that in stock, the answer would be yes, but you have it in stock and options. So your options delta will change as the underlying changes. So it doesn't mean for every 1% change. I'd say it means for the first 1% change, but then your deltas would change, your delta dollars would change. So just be aware that options are nonlinear, all right? There's convexity in options. If Trump's through, do you see this as positive for ABR? Anything that is positive for rates is positive for ABR. Anything that gets the 10-year below 4% is positive for ABR. We can hear you, or at least see you. I should have asked if everybody can hear me, but I didn't. I'm pretty sure you can hear me. I can see my microphone moving up and down and up and down and up and down. Let me increase the sound just to make sure that you can hear me. There we go. Yeah, we can. Good, good, good. Where did we leave off? Why do you expect the pathway of U.S. debt like Japan and not Argentina. Argentina is not a developed country. If you had to lend money to a government, Argentina has a history of what? Defaulting in the last 150 years. What is it? 19 times, 20 times? With a history of defaulting like that, it was bound to go one way. The U.S. has no history of default, nor would it default. TLT pulls back following the election results. Do you think XLU would be affected in a similar way? Anything that is rate sensitive, yeah. And there is 8 o'clock. So we're going to have to give it a second while it flips over to GLOBEX. I'm sure you heard the pop. All my orders are canceled because they were after market orders. Now I have to put them back in as overnight orders. Give me a second here. Where is SPY? SPY. Let's sell. I'll put my position back on. To get, if you're using Interactive Brokers, once you put your position size in, you'll look right beside it. There's a drop-down menu that says day. If you drop it down, it does have an option for overnight. And then you can set your trade. I'll put it back to 580.80. Where are we? 579.54. There we go. Sometimes I have a hard time getting the overnight trade, even though I put it in. I tried getting Tesla during the Robotaxi event. I tried shorting more, and I couldn't get it filled. So I am going to try getting Tesla again at 263. Let's go 263.10. That looks like a nice number there. Where's IWM? Pretty much where I shorted it. Oh, I didn't say overnight. Hang on. I got to redo this one. I left it as a day trade. Overnight. Thank you. Update. That one's done. There we go. All right. We're all set up. How are we doing on the peso? 2034. I'm already short the peso. Okay, look at I mean, we expected this red. This is a surprise. Texas leaning Democrat. 8% by quite a bit too. What gets called? Tennessee gets called. South Carolina gets called. Florida gets called. Alabama, Mississippi, West Virginia, Oklahoma all get called for Trump. 95 electoral votes. Harris, 35 confirmed. Popular vote, 9.3 Trump, 8 million Harris, but California. Pennsylvania, this is critical, right? Pennsylvania is Democrat by a lot. It's only 3%, but by a lot. Yeah, by a lot. That's a big deal. Ohio, Democrat by quite a bit. That's a big deal as well. Michigan and Wisconsin, we got to watch that. With Texas going Democrat, or at least leaning Democrat. Where are we? TLT just not wanting to behave very well. I don't know why it's deciding to do that. I think maybe the market's only looking at the electoral votes and not looking at where we are. Oh, well, here we are. Let's answer some more questions here. Market rallied quite aggressively today. Must be knowing something. Nobody knows anything. I can tell you that. Nobody knows anything. Still bullish gold? Yes. Thoughts on Elon Musk running for president? Do you think he'd make a good candidate? Well, I mean, does Trump make a good candidate? Does making a good candidate matter anymore? I think the question is, given the state of democracy, would he make a popular candidate? Because we only vote for popular people now. We don't vote for good people or qualified people. These are popularity contests. And we are voting for the prom king or the prom queen. The country is, I don't think most people are even thinking about the country when they vote. It's popularity. I'm not going to answer any CFA questions. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. Not tonight. This is really a trading session. TLT 9150. Let's give it a little bit more. I see 90. You know what? Let's go TLT. I don't mind buying after hours here. Where is my TLT on my list? My other screen. There it is. All right. I'm going to buy 91.30. I'll put a buy in for 91.25. I scroll down and hit 91.25. It's just as good as anything else. 91.25. Let's pick some shares up there. 91.50. All right. All right. Who's having fun yet? Thoughts on mortgage-backed REITs? Interest rate sensitive. If TLT stays here, you got a Trump victory. Anything interest rate sensitive, duration will be punished, and then it'll recover. I don't see it. I don't see it hanging out. Would geopolitical risk tension increase in your opinion if Trump gets elected? Increase? That's a good question. Let's see where energy is right now. If oil's not responding, that is usually the canary in the coal mine is oil, especially Middle Eastern geopolitical tensions. It's there. Let's look where metals are. Aluminum down, platinum, palladium, copper all down, gold down, silver down. Forex here, Bitcoin strong, up 1,800. These are Trump trades that, when you think about it, he says what he says to get elected. I don't know that he'll follow through on most of his stuff, but I'm not gonna do anything with Bitcoin. But I am watching the peso. I think 2050. I'll start to get interested. The Canadian 138 now. Well, it's the US dollar. Yeah. Which candidate is better for TLT? Harris in the short term. Neither in the long term. Well, I shouldn't say neither in the long term. What's going to happen is it'll take a while, but the Fed will have to move to zero over time. You get a rising of the long end of the curve like you have going on right now. You cannot have a booming economy and rising long-term rates at the same time. Something has to give. One of those two markets are going to be wrong. I don't know which one. Given this market's penchant for paying top dollar for equities, perfection for equities, who knows? Who knows? And you still have Nvidia earnings coming up, which nothing about Nvidia says that they're going to miss, which could send the market, to 23 times forward earnings, even 24. Why not 25? Right? And it'll all be wrong, but there's the reality of today and the reality of tomorrow, and the reality of today is going to be carried by belief, not fundamentals. Michigan leaning Democrat, Ohio Democrat, Pennsylvania Democrat, those are critical states. If he can't get those, his pathway to 270 is gone. He needs at least one of those states. He's got to get Arizona and Nevada. He got Georgia. He doesn't have North Carolina. He's got to get one of Michigan, Ohio, or Pennsylvania. His path to 270 is now blocked. I don't know why the market is not responding to that, but it's now blocked. Why shorting SPY? Because business runs the show. not the president. Business runs the show. And he's not going to be in place till January. And if you have a belief that under Trump, that the deficit and debt are going to get worse and rates keep going higher and higher and higher, you cannot save that economy. He will take the White House right as everything craters. There's nothing he can do other than demand that the Fed lower rates all the way down and start buying bonds. It's the only way that he can do it. This is overreaction. That's why I'm shorting SPY. What are your thoughts on BCE? That's a dumb acquisition. I put a video up today in positions on BCE explaining my best interpretation of why they did it. There is some logic to doing it. There's some logic, but I think they could have gotten there without having to buy it. But if you think about it as an acquisition that they're later going to sell to either TELUS or Verizon to catch up with AT&T, okay, maybe. I know you're thinking about how to get more value from the position section. Please don't phase it out. I'm not going to phase it out. I was just saying, I don't believe that I'm adding enough value, which is why I haven't put a price on it outside of the applied level. It was going to be the first module, recurring fee module, but I need to figure out a way to add more value. I think I've with all the suggestions, I think I've got something. I asked you last time about your gym regime. How did you balance that throughout your PhD and other demanding times? It doesn't take much to go to the gym. CFA candidates sometimes claim they don't have the time. Well, if you have things going on, you hang on a second. You do have to make sacrifices sometimes. If you have a busy life, a PhD is not a busy life at all. It's just a lot of reading. It's not a busy life. And I have a gym right downstairs. It's not like your typical home gym. It's $100,000 commercial gym. I mean, I've got everything down there. So it's basically a 900 square foot gym and a cardio room. I built a cardio room on the back of the house, which has 4 different cardio machines in there. So I have a complete gym here. I don't have to go to the gym. So for me to find time, it's right there. I mean, I just walk downstairs. It's right there. And I have a TV down there on the wall, and I put on Pluto TV and I watch reruns of Star Trek Next Generation or South Park, on Pluto TV. The BC acquisition looks so expensive. It does. Could a Trump win and Chinese tariffs be a tailwind for a long India position? Well, somebody's got to get along with India. They don't like Canada. I'll tell you that. Texas just flipped red. Oh, but barely. I mean, we're talking barely 50.6. Yeah, up by like 1,061,000 votes for Trump, 1,011,000 votes for Harris. Like that'll flip back and forth for a while. But Michigan, 73% Harris. Ohio, that's a tight one. 52% Harris. Pennsylvania, 76% Harris. He's got to flip Ohio and keep Texas. He loses Texas. Yeah, he loses Texas. This could get ugly for him. Powell's job so far in his term, I think he's made a number of mistakes late to start on both sides. He should have cut 25 in July. He should have cut 25 in September. I think he's late. On that. I think he kept them high for too long when it was clear that inflation was coming down. I think they just do not appreciate the role that technology plays in lowering inflation. And he's not looking around the world. If I would have lowered rates in July by 25, September by 25. I'd be on a 25 point path. You should do a screen share. YouTube doesn't allow me to do a screen share. It has a camera that it pushes out, and that's all I have. But if you're looking for a really good map, I don't know if you have a subscription to Barron's, but Barron's updates this like every minute. So you tap on a state, and you can see that. I don't know if you can see it from there, but it gives you, it tells you, what the votes are. So you could tap on Texas, and it tells you what the percentage of votes are. And across the top, you have a running count between Trump and Harris, and you could tap on each of these, and you could see exactly what state he has. So Barron's has a nice little interface that just updates. The Senate 43 to 34 Republicans, the House 40 to 23 so far, 40-23 for Republicans. Right now, it's looking like a Republican sweep, but that's just confirmed. That's just what's confirmed. Audio is good, but not amplified enough. What if I move the microphone closer? How's that sound? Would you not consider Nixon coming off the gold standard somewhat a default by the U.S.? No, no, not really. If something is unsustainable, you have to sort of change the rules of the game, right? Illinois, Democrat. Kansas, Democrat so far. Can you use OBS to stream both your screen and your webcam at once? I don't know what OBS is. I'm at that age where if I need to do something that is slightly different, you got to find me a teenager to come here and get that stuff done, because I don't have the patience to learn it. Unless I can see it, how to click it real easy, I don't have the patience to learn. I've been learning this stuff my whole life. I went through command line interfaces, went through Windows. I'm done learning. I really am. Unless it's going to be simple, I'm done. I'm done learning this stuff. But I get it. I should do a screen share, and that is coming. This room is changing, by the way. I'm getting a new desk. Oh, this desk. Wait till you see this desk. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Not cheap either. Custom made, but it's beautiful. And I got my my artwork up on the wall. I had a particular piece made. Just the frame alone. Ouch. But my desk will now face that wall. Is going to be beautiful. It takes about 2 months to get the custom desk made, but it's what I wanted. As soon as I saw the finish, I thought, that's what I want right there. What do you think of Kalshi? I don't know what the hell a Kalshi is. How's your Tesla short going so far? How much are you down? I'm not down anything. I don't think I got it filled yet. 261.18. I got a 263 out for it. TLT 91.64 didn't hit my my position, but we got a lot of night left in front of us. However, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, that's gonna ruin Trump if he doesn't get something there. Where are we here? Why is the yield on the 10-year expected to rise if Trump wins? Isn't he talking about reducing the deficit? Yeah. I mean, Elon Musk is down there with him at Mar-a-Lago right now. He's going to go in and cut. Apparently, that if you had to pick somebody in the longer term that would cut the deficit, it would be more likely to be Trump. If he does actually go in and cut $2 trillion out, it would most likely be Trump. But I've said this before, every dollar the government spends is somebody else's revenue. You cut $2 trillion out of the deficit, you cut $2 trillion of revenue out of the economy. And all of nominal GDP for the last 6-7 years, pretty much all of nominal GDP growth has been paid for by the government. You cut that spending, you cut 2 trillion, you crater the economy, right? So that's why I think a long TLT and a short SPY make a lot of sense, because one of them are wrong. One of them is wrong. Why is the market positive before a risk event? It's pricing in a Trump win. That's what it's doing. Aggressively pricing in a Trump win. If you look at the popular vote right now, 13.8 million on Trump, 11.4 million on Harris. But we really haven't gotten to the Harris states yet. We don't have New York, and you certainly don't have California, which is the most populous state in the country. How many votes there? 54 electoral college votes. It's going to come down to Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. It's going to come down to those three. So this is all pornography right now. It's all political porn right now, and an opportunity, I think, to grab some things, because it's going to come down to those three. And based on, look at Pennsylvania. 73% Harris, 7% counted, but 73% Harris. Ohio's a tight one. Michigan, 62% Harris, 4% counted. Texas is 53 Trump with 27% counted. That's important. I don't know why Georgia isn't called yet. 55 Trump, 46% counted. We'll see what happens here. Which channel are you watching for the election results? CBS is on YouTube, and Barron's, I think, has a lot better information, because every 2 minutes it refreshes with whatever it has from the AP, the Associated Press. Someone here crackling, or is it just me? I don't know. Ohio kind of wild. Yeah, I used to live in Cleveland. Although, I mean, it was a red state when I lived in Cleveland. W was in at that time. TLT's just trading like a startup. Yeah, I'd love to grab some tonight. I'm pretty sure most of this is a wrong move. Overall, I'm pretty sure it's a wrong move. Governments take credit for the economy so many times, and the economy really is business and the central bank. The only real role they play is in deficit spending to juice the economy. If Penn goes D, it's basically Harris lock. Pennsylvania is a big one. I will agree with that. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio. If Trump can't score one of those, it's over. It doesn't matter how well he does everywhere else. He needs those, because there are certain states, as you go west, there are certain states that are, the moment the polls close, they'll be called blue right away. California's blue. We just haven't gotten there, but California's blue. So if they counted everything that they were going to count blue and everything they were going to count red, no matter what, it would be about 226 to 219 for Harris. Trump's path was Georgia, Ohio, Michigan, if he can't get Pennsylvania, but he might get Ohio, but Pennsylvania and Michigan aren't looking good for him. Thoughts on the emission regulation from liberals? Yes, liberals. I don't, he's still trying to be an idiot. Like, I don't think he understands how hated he is in this country. It just doesn't occur to him. He's very much like Trump. He's just the other way. He's very much like Trump. He's not going anywhere, no matter what. He's not going anywhere. And I kind of don't want him to go anywhere, because I really want him to lose. I want him to know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, how much he is hated. I don't want him sneaking out the back door thinking he did a good job. I want him to clearly know that Canadians don't like him. And if he wins again, well, then, Canadians have the country they deserve at that point, I'd say. TLT overnight in hours, if it dips a lot, yeah, I'm looking to pick some up as well. Even though I got a big position, I can add more. Thoughts on Trump's tariffs? I feel like his tariff policy assumes the other countries won't do the same. Well, I think everyone's assuming that he's actually going to do it. Now, I've used this analogy before. If you walk into a room with a baseball bat, you're going to have to use it right away on somebody. There's China. Use it and hurt them. Let everyone see that you are absolutely willing to use that baseball bat. Then you're in a position to negotiate. But if you walk in a room with a baseball bat, no one's going to negotiate with you because they think, well, you're not going to use it. You're just threatening me with it, but you're not going to use it. You got to use it. You got to use it, and you got to hurt someone. China's the most obvious one to hurt. I don't know if he'd go after Mexico. No, Ohio just flipped red. That's going to help Trump. See, with Musk would like to set up a factory in Mexico. I don't know. That's a hard, 100% tariff on cars coming in. That's going to be a tough one to sell. So that trade is not going the right way either. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Helpful if I could share my screen. I wish I could share my screen, but YouTube has a camera that comes out at me, and that's it. There's nothing I can do to share my screen. Let me see what this says down here. Mute. I can share, but that's just sharing a link. If I click that, it just allows me to share the link on something else. Besides, you wouldn't see, even if I did share my screen, you couldn't see very much because this over here, I have two systems. I don't know. I'm going to try to turn this one to see if you can see it without undoing any wires. But as I twist and turn, let's see, there it is right there. There's the screen over there. It's another, Big Mac. It's another Mac computer, and the screen is over there. So if I shared my screen, it would just be an endless you and me. But I get what you're saying. It would be helpful. I can tell you what I'm looking at. So if you want to watch what I'm looking at, I'm watching the peso. I'm watching very few things. Okay, I'm watching the peso, SPY, TLT, and Tesla, IWM, which is the small caps. They're 227.62. They keep going up. I'll hit them again. That's really all I'm interested in doing is just beta with SPY and IWM, duration with TLT. The currencies, the only one I'm really interested in is the peso. Anything above 2050, I'm going to start to get interested. It's a very small group of things that I'm watching. It's not like I'm all over the place. So if you had like those 4 or 5 tickers in front of you, that's all I'm watching. And that's all I'm really going to do. I'm not interested in going all around the world trading everything here. Popular vote, 16 million on Trump, 13.4 million on Harris. We haven't even started counting New York. New York will be Democrat. 270 plus active viewers. You hit 270. 418 right now. Thoughts on the market action today? It looked like a Trump trade, and then at the very end, the nice little run on TLT, and then even after hours till you had results starting to come in, and then TLT just took a big dump, which I did what I had to do when it was up. Now it's down. I can't trade options on TLT after hours. You can on ZB. If you want to do something on ZB, you can. The other thing you might want to watch is ES or MES. If you want to do futures, ES is the mini S&P 500, which is equivalent to 500 shares of SPY. For that, you don't need to click on overnight trading. There's on GLOBEX, it's all day, all night trading. And if that's too much, you can use MES, which is equivalent to 50 shares of SPY. Illinois is blue, Michigan blue, Pennsylvania blue, Kansas blue. Still nothing else declared. Do you think Trump will seriously enact such austere tariffs? Wouldn't that massively increase production costs? Yeah, it's so hard to tell with this guy. I think his campaigning, well, the best word in the world, tariffs. I think that is so that other countries, if he wins, other countries will sort of have a belief that no, this is going to happen. We and companies will have a belief. So companies will think twice about moving production to Mexico or moving production somewhere else. They'll try to reshore or they'll just cancel plans. Okay, Arkansas, Oklahoma call for Trump, 101 electoral votes to Harris's 49. You need 270, first at 270. But these are all states that pretty much everyone knew were going to go for Trump anyway. So you think Trump will make good on his mass deportation promise? That one, I think he will. That one, I think he will do whatever he can. How much of an effect would you see this having on the rental market? Well, there's already deportations going on. There are hundreds of thousands of people being deported all the time in the U.S. It's not as if the Biden administration is not deporting anyone. They are. And it's not as if Obama didn't deport anyone. I think he has the record for it. He was known as the deporter in chief. He was deporting. So Trump's a little late to the game overall. Even if he continues on with what's going on, it's the same rate of deportation that's going on right now. Unless you throw more money at this, you're not going to get more seats on buses. You got to throw more money on it. Now, what he can do, and I think this is a good idea, is he can say to Mexico, he says, you don't want 30% tariffs, 40% tariffs, fine. You got to stop these people before they cross the border. Why is it our guards on the border all the time? You need to put your army on the border to stop the people running to the border. That could be interesting, right? That could slow down the pace coming in. Why are small caps rallying with higher expected rates? Because this is a reaction trade. It's not a lot of thinking. So this is trading these things is like playing 8-ball with a rookie. I don't know if you ever. There's my short on SPY 580.80. Just hit it. Nice. Come on, Tesla. $3 is all I'm asking. Rally $3, but I got my short on SPY. If you ever played 8-ball in a bar setting, you're playing with a rookie when they play the shot right in front of them. Bang, and they knock it in. And then they walk around the table looking for their next shot, right? And then bang, they try to get it in. That's a rookie. You're playing with a pro when they have a shot, but they don't take it. They're looking for their next shot. What their goal is, where do I want my white ball to be, right? Right now, I'm playing, I think, based on this reaction, I'm playing pool with a rookie. So, I'll take my positions and then I'll run the table tomorrow to keep the analogy alive. DXY screaming, yield screaming, and RTY screaming. Someone's lying. Yeah, the IWM 227.62. I did my short at 227.50. SPY 580.02. I got 580.80. Little bit away from TLT. I just need a little bit more Trump victory to push TLT up. And then Harris take the lead for a while, and then let me trade in and out, and then Trump take the lead. This would be beautiful. But Tesla's not giving me the rally I want. I want to see 263 again. Any mental strategies or books you found helpful for trading confidence? Only time. Let me give you the best strategy that you can find. You'll find that your performance will increase dramatically if you follow this strategy. When you make a trade, stop looking at the damn thing. Have something else on your screen. Your trade is in behind it. Make your decisions based on what you know about the company or what's going on. Don't make your decisions based on the price action. So many people, the position goes negative and it starts to rally up again, then it comes down, then it rallies up again. They say, oh, well, I remember this last time, let me hedge out. That's the wrong thing to do because your story hasn't changed, right? Walk away. Think about it. Whenever you're about to do something, walk away and think, okay, I know it's been weak for a couple of weeks, but has the story changed? Trade your story, not the price action. If you stop paying attention to the price action, you will do a lot better because you'll still be trading the story and not the noise, right? So just walk away. Stop looking at the damn thing, right? Looking at it's not going to do anything. All it's going to do is draw you into all the little ticks up and down, and you'll start interpreting that as something, and it's nothing. Most of the stuff that happens during the day, purely random shit, just purely random. This is where you want to play when you have this kind of event going on where you have a bunch of rookies. The pros aren't doing anything right now. The pros are just sitting back saying, yeah, do what you want to do. This is rookie time right now. So I will trade against the rookies. Look at that. I'm already up $1 on SPY. We're at 579.80. That's not bad, right? Or maybe I should ask, what do you think the effect of a Trump tariff would be should he enact them? So, you have to, for these sorts of things, for any complex system, you can't use linear thinking. Linear thinking is, well, he's going to raise tariffs, which is going to do this. It's going to be inflationary. And you have to game it out. You have to use a bit of game theory on this because every time you do something, somebody else will react. Something else will respond. I, as a consumer, do not have to buy that thing coming in. I, as a merchant, do not have to stock that thing on my shelves coming in. I could just say, look, I know I can get this cheaper somewhere else. I can find ways around these things. As a retailer, I would say, well, if you put tariffs on these things are things I stock. Okay, so maybe I won't have candlesticks from China. I'll just sell tablecloths instead. I'll find something that will meet my customers' price point. So let's take Costco, for example. Many of you have been through the financial modeling of Costco. We understand Costco. If Costco is bringing stuff into the country to stock, it knows its customer. It knows what price points make sense and what price points don't, so it chooses. So if tariffs go up on something, it's okay, well, we just won't offer that, but this company is offering this neat little thing. It doesn't have to be a substitute. It could just be something completely different. Most consumers will buy what you stick in front of them. I mean, go to Costco and look at people's carts sometimes. Do you need 50 pairs of socks? You don't need the reason you're buying 50 pairs of socks because there it was on the shelf in a package and you thought, hey, socks, I need socks. And look at the price. Costco will just find something else to put there. So you have to game it out. It's not just this guy increased tariffs and we're all just going to live with it now. No. Retailers will find another way around it. There'll be carve-out exceptions. The auto industry will say, look, we get a lot of our parts made in Windsor and we bring it over to Detroit. We add value. It goes back to Windsor where they add value and it comes back here. All this cross-border stuff going on. you're going to kill us because a part may go back and forth across that border 3-4 times. So they'll get a carve out, and these guys will get a carve out. It's not as linear as what people think. So will he institute tariffs on something? Sure. Will other countries institute tariffs in retaliation? Sure. I'm sure he'll see it going that way. Other countries aren't just going to say, oh, you walked into a room with a baseball bat. I'm terrified. They'll say, you got a baseball bat? I got a baseball bat. Look at the size of my baseball bat. Now, I know that your industries here and here and here import into my country. That's over. So these CEOs are going to be on the phone to their representatives saying, what the hell is your guy doing? And then there'll be pressure. I mean, they're saying something and then there's actually doing something. I don't know that it'll be as straightforward as he would like it to be. What's the difference between long TLT and long ZB? TLT is, well, it's an ETF that holds a portfolio of bonds, right? ZB is a futures contract that has a cheapest to deliver bond underlying it. You can buy 100 shares of TLT, and it's going to cost you what? Right now, $9,150. But ZB's underlying is a $100,000 6% generic bond. Well, sorry, let me back that up. It's not a $100,000 bond. It's 100 $1,000 bonds, and they are generic 6% bonds. And the cheapest to deliver is the cheapest bond that you can buy that would make you indifferent between a $1,000 6% bond and whatever you're delivering to me. I would be indifferent because the yields would be the same. ZB is a futures contract, but you would have to roll over your ZB all the time. If you're long ZB, you have negative carry because it's a financial contract, right? So, usually you use futures to hedge, but if you need to trade something, ZB is there. Aren't all those leads just because of early voting? Well, yeah. Well, not the states that are being called. The states that are being called are pretty much going to are either red or blue. We pretty much know they're going to be red or blue. The score right now is 101-71 on the electoral votes. Illinois got called for Harris. Pennsylvania right now is 70% Harris, 30% Trump, 12% counted. I don't see that changing. Michigan, where are we here? 56-42. That's a tough one. Ohio, Trump is 51.1%. Georgia, 55.2. That'll probably his. North Carolina just flipped. That's important. He's got to hold on to that. Virginia, well, he was always going to get, well, that's tight. 49.5 against 48.8. That is tight. Pennsylvania, yeah. Texas is 52. Where he has a lead, it's small. Where she has a lead, it's fairly significant. It's exciting right now, right? 579.86 still with Tesla sitting at 260. I might have to move my short position down. Hearing Mark not at 1.5% speed makes me feel like I've... Are you shorting TLT if Trump wins? No, I'm buying TLT. Georgia hasn't counted the east half of Atlanta yet. May still flip again. Yeah, you can dive deeper into the state to see where they've counted. It is 55.3 against 44.4. Could flip again. What do you think about citizen-based taxation? What is that? France is trying to adopt it. Germany and other countries apply an exit tax liability for 5 to 7 years after quitting the country. Well, I would say that the more socialist you lean as a country, Socialism really only works if you have people to take stuff from. You can't just have a country of people who need stuff. Usually, socialist countries shut their borders down so that their most productive people do not leave, because otherwise it doesn't work. So they shut their borders down. If you really can't get away with shutting your borders down, you shut it down to capital exit. In other words, you're leaving. You can't take your stuff with you. You can't take your stuff with you. And that's more than just a deemed disposition, but a deemed disposition plus, oh, you're leaving? Here's a bill. It's kind of a financial way of shutting your borders down so that that person is tied to the country, and you can continue to confiscate wealth. Because if you're going to give a lot of stuff away, you got to get it from somebody. You got to get it from somebody, and you can only take it from somebody who's earned it. That's all you can do. Where are we? Too early to say anything about Georgia. Betting markets have Trump at 70% odds. Betting market are not odds. Betting market are not odds. A betting market is even if Trump was going to win by one vote and you knew he was going to win by one vote, you'd have almost 100% on the betting market for Trump, because it's about who's going to win, not about it's not a poll, it's about who's going to win. So you can have a poll where 48% of the people support this candidate, 52 support this candidate, but the belief is that this candidate's going to win, so 100% of the bets go on that guy. That doesn't mean there's 100% probability that candidate's going to win. Basic question, but when you are long TLT, you are expecting the rate on the long end to come down, correct? With the CRS, more countries will adopt the same strategy. Scam call center should hire people from both campaigns. The amount of calls and texts I received over the past month should be considered telemarketing fraud. Yeah. Where is he reading these messages from? This is the live chat, and I've just scrolled back. I read them in order. So I just read down. I'm not reading them, one here and there. I'm just reading in order. PhD is a very chill life. If you know how to approach it, yeah, it's not hard work at all. I mean, you lift a paper, you flip a page, you think, you put it down, you lift another paper, you flip a few pages, you think, you sit in a room with a bunch of people, you go, wow, that's a good point. And really, that's all you do. Need you hosting people in St. Kitts as well as Costa Rica. People show up here, they show up here. Nobody's ever asked to show up here. Although I have met two people now here for one for lunch, one for dinner. I have no problem with that. If somebody says they're going to be in the area, I'll meet them for dinner. I got no problem with that. Do you train fasted or have tried it before? Fasting. Yeah, I do it every day till I only eat. I start eating at 3 in the afternoon. Ever thought of hosting group events, conference in Costa Rica? Yeah, but I don't know how I would do it or how I would get that done or what would be done, but I'm not averse to it. Just what would it be about, right? Beer league hockey, best exercise I've done. Well, I don't drink beer and I'm not a big hockey player, believe it or not. Success and tail distribution. Thank you for being so based in sharing a unique perspective. How long are you holding TLT? TLT is a long-term hold because I believe it's going to pay. I really believe in this one. I think duration over the next couple of years will be a big performer. If Goldman Sachs is right and you can only expect about 3% on average growth in earnings, which seems to me an argument that makes sense. If you've priced the next 10 years in, if you've priced perfection in execution and you're trading at 22 times earnings, where can you go? Other than be disappointed, where can you go? So if that's the case, and if the economy can't handle higher, longer rates, and let's be clear about what debt is priced off of. Debt is priced off the capital market. You've got some debt that's priced off the money market, but most consumer debt and most business loans are priced off the capital market, whether it be the 5-year or the 10-year. They're priced off of that, and all debt, corporate debt, is going to be priced off at least the term premium derived from the capital market. So if you got a super steep curve and you have a high yield company issuing a 5-year, where the 5-year is, their spread will be above that. So it's it's damaging to the whole economy. TLT might be zero by the end of the night. Can't be zero. Do you think Trump's win is good for the U.S. economy? To be completely fair, the evidence over the years shows that the stock market, on average, performs better under Democratic governments than under Republican governments. On average. Now, that's on average. You could have a Republican that really, really does well, and then while other Republicans have not done so well, on average. I would be curious how that would work out over the last 30 years and take out bubbles, take out the dot-com bubble. If you take that out and you just base it from Reagan forward, I don't know if that's a true statement anymore. Do you cycle? Not really. Low impact, putting less stress on the joints, helps strengthen muscles around the knee. It's not my muscles around the knee, my left knee, that cause me trouble. It's my kneecap every now and then likes to go sideways and pop out, and it's like, damn it. And then after that, it's snap, snap, snap. So then you got to I got a brace, you got to wrap it tight to keep it in place for a couple hours. You should check out OBS. It's free and easy to use, pretty popular for streaming, screen recording, face, etc. OBS, I'll check it out. Apple News and Perplexity have great interface for tracking this election. I think there's a whole bunch that probably got ready to do this just because of the sheer amount of viewership that something like this gets. Where'd I leave off? Oh, there we are. Every now and then the chat just zooms straight up. Have you looked at ARM? Curious on your thoughts. Seems more and more chips are built on their architecture. For they license a lot. But other than that, I really haven't looked at them. A lot of liberal people moved to Texas from California. Liberal people? Will you be switching to a black screen with your colored pens at some point in this live stream? No, I can't do that. The screen is on a Cintiq down here, so I can't get that done. Can't wait to see your new desk. Yeah, 2 months. House tour when? As soon as I'm done. I'm in the process of improving it. Well, I'm done building it. I'm just furnishing it now, adding things to it, changing things. Like that mat over there, you see, hang on, there it is. That one right there, that was here when I bought the house. This thing here where you put your shoes on. I don't like it, but it's all right to put your shoes on. I haven't made a decision about it, but at some point that thing's got to go. It doesn't match the new door. Do you like that new door? By the way, it's like this super wide door. It's not a normal size door. It's a super wide door with 3 latches on the way down. Once I lock that door, you're not coming in that front door. Doesn't matter what kind of battering ram you got. You're not coming in my front door. Oh, you could break in all the windows. Yeah, but you're not coming in the front door. Powell's not a trained economist, not a PhD. Do you think this has something to do with failure? Have a view of the? Well, I don't think that the head of the Fed should be a PhD. I think keep the PhDs out of it. Right? I want a practical person in there, not a PhD. A lot of people are selling DJT puts to capture the high IV. Seems like an easy trade. You can sell the 10 puts. Maybe the Fed can be replaced by AI. Who's winning this election in your mind? I don't know. Trump has Ohio right now. If he gets Arizona and Nevada, keeps Texas and North Carolina, it's his. We haven't seen Wisconsin yet. If Harris gets Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and one of Arizona or Nevada, it's hers. I mean, it really is. There's only 7 states that matter at this point. Let's have a look at our, look at the peso, 20.41. I will grab that at 20.5. In fact, let's go ahead and enter that in right now on the peso. Where are we on the peso? There it is right there. Let's grab that. 20.50. Good. Let's do it. All right. I got my limit order placed for that. Let's see what happens. I got filled on IWM. I got filled on SPY. I don't know that that Tesla has another run up to 263. It's been hanging out at 259 for a while. TLT hanging down around 91.39. What did I put my my order in for TLT? 91.25, 91.39 right now. Let's see if I get it, and I'll just keep adding on the way down. Problems in Georgia, I hear. Is that Trump saying that? I'm hearing things that aren't good. He did tweet that there was problems in Philadelphia. Police are on the way. I don't know. I think if he loses, you know exactly what's going to happen. There were irregularities. There'll be voter fraud. There'll be lawyers. It has to be a clear win, like by millions of votes. Otherwise, it's going to be a mess. Big cities usually report first, while more rural areas don't report as fast. Based on this, I'm not sure you can get an unbiased predictor based on less than 50%. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. We're at 64% in Georgia. Trump at call it 1.8 million votes. Harris at 1.6 million votes. 64%. That's a tough one to flip when you're down by 200,000 votes with only 36% left to count. That's a tough one to flip. Ohio, only 47%. Trump's got a small lead there. But Pennsylvania, I don't see it happening. 65 to 33. Michigan, maybe Michigan. I'm surprised we haven't seen anything from New York yet. We hate Stammer in the UK. Yeah, well, tax. I've been saying this for quite some time. If you're a successful person in an advanced country, given the level of debt, you don't get to keep your stuff. You don't get to keep it. It will be confiscated. You don't get to keep it unless you get some kind of austerity, unless you get some kind of responsible government, which you're not going to with elections. You're going to get popular government, but not responsible. You don't get to keep the stuff you have. So make peace with that now. Trump's threat to fire Powell. Wouldn't that threaten the independence of the Fed? That's what he wants to do. He feels the president should have a say in where interest rates go. Not really a vote, but he should be able to get on the phone and say, here's what I think you should do. And that the Fed goes, oh, okay, good. He believes that should be the president's right. Ohio just flipped red. It flipped red a while ago. It's still red. I still have it as red. Yeah. Wouldn't a tariff on China will hurt the U.S. economy like inflation and all the other economic data? I'm not sure how. Oh, 106.99 is the electoral votes right now. 106 Trump, 99 Harris. North Dakota, Nebraska just went Trump. Well, you knew they were going to. You knew they were going to. Illinois is firmly. Oh, there's New York. New York is firmly with Harris. No votes counted. It just automatically gets assigned. Wyoming, South Dakota just got assigned to Trump. It's 9 o'clock, so polls are closing in a number of places. So almost immediately on the close, they know exactly where it's going to go. Where are we? What do you think? You use CAD? Canadian's weak for its own reasons. So we're sitting at what, 138.85? I don't know that I'd be interested in CAD until I got my TLT at 91.25. I don't know if I'd be interested in CAD until I saw 140. You know, I mean, I've been picking it up slowly. I think my last trade was in the 139s. I'll let CAD go for now. We have to become Twitch streamers. What did TLT just price in? Isn't it all noise on TLT? Seems they're just pricing the long end of the curve like a meme. Yeah, that's what I say. I don't know that a lot of thinking is going on there. The New York Times tracker shows Ohio is likely Republican. It's kind of showing that it's likely Republican right now. 52.7 to 46.5, 48% of the votes counted. Interactive brokers. I use interactive brokers exclusively, not TradingView. With regards to OBS streaming, oh, okay. The odds of you sharing the wrong screen and doxing yourself is very high. I would honestly avoid, if you aren't tech savvy, the odds of sharing the wrong screen and doxing yourself. Oh, I mean, I don't really care. I'm not trying to hide from anybody. I don't owe anybody any money. So 420 viewers at the 69 minute. Yeah, this is the most I've had so far. 444. That's not bad. I wish I could share my screen. I think it would be kind of neat. But I have two computers, right? And I have two different internet connections in here. So one is on the data stream goes here and the live stream goes here. I'm afraid to put too much on this because I don't want that. I don't want to time out. I don't want it to have these delay. Is when I talk like that, you know what I mean? I don't want that. So, but coming into the new year, I know I need a new kind of thing, and it would be great if I could have, my black screen up and me at the same time. And whenever I get a question and I need to draw something out, I could just draw it out, or to have my watch list up of what I'm trading, and just do the trades so that you can see the trades live. Right now, all you can hear is the tick when Interactive Brokers hits it. I've turned off that guy. The guy who says, order filled, order partially filled. I've turned that guy off because he just annoys me. How would you expect to see arbitrage mechanics of ETFs show up in semi-trans? I don't know how to answer that question because I'm not even sure exactly what it's asking. Arbitrage mechanics of ETFs show up in semi-transparent ETFs. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're referring to. So I'm not sure what that means. Any options or option structures for peso? Not really. No. Other than the spot trade, which is all I'm doing on it right now, is just a spot trade. Nothing else. New York Times is a good tracker. Wall Street Journal did a YouTube piece on tariffs using the tariffs on chickens between U.S. and Germany, explained that they have the opposite effect and last for decades. Not looking good for Trump. How many drinks in? I don't drink alcohol. I have my Fresca. I don't drink alcohol. Haven't for years. Why are SPX futures trading up, leaning towards Dems or Republicans? It would have to be leaning towards the Republicans if they're trading up, and they are. Peso sitting at 20.43. I'm waiting for 20.5. Where are we over here? TLT 91.21. I mean, it was $2 higher, a couple hours ago. That is one hell of a move. SPY back below 580. Tesla not moving much above 259. IWM, where are we there? 227.40. Not a lot of movement here. Oil, how are we doing here? Energy, not doing anything. No life on energy. Over to the metals. Aluminum still down. Silver down. Gold showing some life. Gold was negative pretty much all day. Slightly negative, but now it's green. Copper's had a good little run here for a while. 443. Doing okay. Do you play pool? I used to. I have a pool table in Costa Rica. I just don't use it that often. I have a room. If you go down the stairs, like the house has got a couple layers, and there's another. If you go down towards the stables, there's another room down there that has a pool table in there. Tomorrow, another day of sell the news. Unwinding Trump trade, given he's like, this is what happened last year. The last time Trump won, 2016, the peso went insane, absolutely insane. I didn't touch it at the time. It went like to 25. It went insane. And then it just, you check a week later, everything was okay. Everything was just fine. Everything went crazy. And then, okay, let's go back. EWW in the event Pennsylvania looks closer to Kamala. Where are we on that one? And I don't think you can pick that up in after hours. EWW. It's got a bid and ask, but I don't see any action on it. The bid's at 50.33. Closing was 50.77. I guess you'd say the midpoint of the bid is $50. You'd have to wait till the morning for that one, I think. 20.47 on the peso. Come on, 20.50, right? I think you see 20.50. It trips 20.50. It probably could run a little bit further, but I'll grab it every 25, 50, 70, 20, 75, 21, 21, 25. Trump took the lead on North Carolina. 51.9%, 40% of votes counted. Yeah. How did you end up selecting 50.80 for your SPY shorts? I wanted 580 Sometimes it's just, this sounds silly, but oh, okay, that's just a warning. I'm getting close to my trade. I get that. So hang on, something just showed up on the screen. I don't want it on the screen. There we go. You have a price wheel up and you just spin it. I want a 580 and I spin it, and sometimes it stops at 580 and a number, and I think, okay, that looked like a good enough number for me. And sometimes I don't have in my head 580.8. I just throw a number in. I want 580, and then whatever it happens to be in the 580 zone. It's not a science, right? I spin the mouse, and where it lands, sometimes I think, well, that looks as good as any other number, right? Let's see. The story has not worked out for the last year on S&P, NASDAQ. No, it has not. No, it has not. Only 8% counted in Pennsylvania, and all from urban areas. Kamala lead expected from those areas. Pennsylvania, you think only 8%? I got 18%, 60% Harris, 40% Trump from 18%. But Ohio just got called for Trump. He needed that. 51% of votes counted, and it is called for him now. He needed that. So there is Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. If he gets Wisconsin, then I don't see how Harris can pull this one off. I don't see how she can pull it off. I don't think she'll flip Texas, 57% in already. Georgia, I don't see that flipping. North Carolina, maybe North Carolina. Maybe Virginia. She's close in Virginia. She's got to keep Michigan. Got to keep Pennsylvania. Yeah. It's not looking good for the Dems right now. So we are 91 on TLT. I'm probably going to buy some more. 581 on SPY on that news. 261 on Tesla. Come on. IWM 228.68. That's above my short position. SPY is above my short. TLT is below my buy. Terrified. That's a good one. Terrified. Yeah. Do you think it's unreasonable to say the U.S. will never run a surplus again? No, I don't think it's unreasonable. Well, a surplus where? A trade surplus or a fiscal surplus? The U.S. has had fiscal deficits for 25 years now. All right, there's my peso, 20.5. I've got all my positions. Now it's time to add strategically. TLT, I will do a 90.75 on that. And let's see where we get to. Yeah, we're having a good time. Oh, I have some options on ES. Let me see where those are. I totally forgot those. I sold puts on ES. 58.10 puts, 91 or not 92. We're at 66. Okay, let's grab one of those. Give me a second. Let me take profit on one of those little guys. ES. And that is the 58.10s for December at 65.25. I'll grab 65.25. It's a $2 spread. You know what? I'll grab 65. Let's go 65.50. How's that sound? Anybody with me on this one? 65.50 to cover. on 65, 65.25. We'll just cover them slowly. Let's take a little bit off right now. That was I got it. Nice. There we go. That was a nice little game. Still have some. And where are we here? Yeah, let me take another one off the table in some of I have other futures options on futures here. This one is 57. 57s are 68 to 69. Let's grab a 68.25. 68.25. Done. All right, where are we? She's doing good in Pennsylvania and Michigan so far. And Wisconsin is red. 62%. Not much counted, but 62%. I think Harris is probably at this point contemplating a speech. I don't see how she can pull this one out. Michigan and Pennsylvania are simply not enough. They're not enough. They are not enough. If Arizona and Nevada go red, it's over. We can call it a night. It'll be over. It's a lot easier than everyone was making it out to be for Trump, right? I mean, the map's almost all red. What is your typical daily routine like? I don't know that it's typical. Order canceled. Risk mitigation. Why? I just got kicked out of an order. Give me a second here. Why was I kicked out? 119s. I think because of volatility. That is not fair. All right, let's keep going here. When Trump announced tariffs on March 2018, TLT was flat until Fed raised rates. So it seems like tariffs themselves didn't have any impact. We'll find out tomorrow. This is, it's in the moment reaction. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Have you seen the Theo Vaughn interviews? No, I have not. Got out of that one. Good. Guys, don't ask too many questions tonight. Let's just chat. I don't live in America. Could you explain why U.S. elections, market, and economy matter for the rest of the world? Because the U.S. is the biggest financial market in the world. It is the biggest source of capital in the world, and as far as the yield curve goes, the pricing for many emerging markets. So U.S. is pretty much everything when it comes to financial markets. Can you please run for PM and make Canada livable? Yeah, I would never run for politics. It's an ugly job. A financial brain, a nice person looking for Canadian elections next. Are you taking any applications for proteges? I'm always looking for talent. I mean, if talent comes along, I have no problem grabbing it. But you got to have something, right? It can't just be I don't know much, but I want to learn. I don't have time, unfortunately, for that kind of thing. I wish I did, but I don't. So you got to come heavy, which means you got something I don't have. You got some skill or some talent I don't have. Price target for TLT. I don't really work on price targets. I'm more price direction. My price direction is up. When? I don't know. Short term is, FX trade for post elections. Right now, the only thing I'm really doing, or are we 2053 on the peso, 139 on the CAD. I'm good with the CAD right now. The peso is what I'm more interested in. If Trump hits 270, then you'll really see, I think, these markets react. It looks good for Wisconsin. Michigan is still kind of close. Pennsylvania is, well, only 21%. Harris is not doing well. The states that she really needed does not look good for her. It does not look good right now. How will Trump win influence Detroit? Oh, well, I'll end the electric vehicle mandate on day one. I think it looks good for Detroit. Right? Like that picture behind you. Yeah, that is just decorative art. It's not really a piece of art. It's just decorative art. This behind me is a piece of art. Would you consider writing a book on investing? My book is the applied level. Why write a book when you could put it in video? My book is the applied level. Why did you change your door? The other one was just ugly. I mean, it was just, I didn't like it. It was ugly. When will the art piece be done? It is done. It's all hanging on the wall behind me. Why you never pursued the C of A designation? It would be redundant. I have a terminal degree. Anything else at this point is redundant. It'd be like getting another undergrad degree. What would be the point? And I'm not going into the financial world in terms of wanting to work for any of the big banks or any funds or anything like that. I don't really care to. It's not anything that I would need. It would be redundant. Here is something else you don't know about me, or maybe you do, because I have mentioned it before. I never graduated high school. I have no high school diploma. There's my Tesla. There we go, 263. I just got that. I'm getting everything now. Okay, I got my Tesla, got peso, SPY. Now it's time to add to these positions. Look at IWM at 230. Oh, you got to hit that again. That doesn't belong there. Give me a second. Let me get that again. IWM. Let us do it again. And where are we on the price on this one? 230 even, and looking like it's having trouble at 230. I will grab that. $229. Let's grab 230.01. Why not? And overnight. Oh, you resets. Okay, we'll do it again. 230. Sell. 229.49. Good. SPY, let that just sit. TLT will let that sit. Tesla will let that sit for a while. Where is Forex? 2052. Okay. A little bit more IWM. That makes a lot of sense, huh? When will the, okay, already did that. Is quant finance a big thing in finance now? I don't know if it's the big thing, but it's certainly having a lot more respect, I think. Talk about chips. Have you looked at ASML and lithography? Yeah. The price took a massive correction. Yeah. Who's making the desk? It's there's a place here in I think I don't know what the city's called. It's close to here called the Woodshed, where you go and you buy just really interesting pieces of wood. This is where you get, like 2-inch thick black cedar or black oak or wormy pine, like just any kind of wood you want. It's you walk in there and it's just your mind just goes crazy with all the great things that you can imagine. I wonder if I have any pictures. Let me see if I could show you some pictures of some of the wood. No. Oh, hang on. It wouldn't be there. It would be here. Oh, somebody just sent me a picture. No, I got the pictures here. So this is I'm getting a coffee table built, and it's like a 6x5, 6 feet long by 5 feet wide. That's the tabletop, but it's going to be a custom. This is not a 6x5. That's a custom tabletop. But you can see some of the nice in behind there. See, you got a whole selection of really great looking wood like that. Let's see if we have any other really interesting pieces here. That's a wormy maple with live edge. You can see the thickness on that one. So it's just a place to go in, and you just find a whole bunch of really great pieces of wood. Yeah, the tabletop is made out of this stuff here. This stuff is a black walnut. And this is without stain. That's just the color of it on its own. So this piece back here, the longer piece in the background, it's 96 inches. So it's 8 feet. So that's the length of the desk, 8 feet, and it's in that. So this tabletop alone, just the tabletop, you can see what the price is on the tabletop. That's just for the piece of wood. But what we're going to do is you get this and you cut it down the middle, and then you flip them around so that the live edges are in the middle of the desk. And then you put a black smoky epoxy all the way down. Oh my God, does it look great. They had a sample of a piece like that. It looked fantastic. So as soon as I saw that sample, I said, that's what I want. Right. So yeah, nice looking wood. If you're into wood, if you're into building stuff, or you can imagine, nice big furniture with presents, it's just a playground to be in. Why housing is not a depreciable asset? Why should it be a depreciable asset? Japan treats it as a consumable. It goes down in value. That's are you selling IWM? Yes. Maybe I missed it. Why are you short Tesla? If Trump wins, I see Elon winning. How do you see his camera technology suddenly becoming better? How do you see that happening? How do you see this robo-taxi beating all the other competition that's already ahead of it? How do you see that happening? How do you see his margins increasing just because Trump wins when he's facing massive competition all around the world? And nobody's paying attention to GM. Did anybody notice that GM has hit in terms of growth in EV sales? They're growing faster at this point in their history than when Tesla was at their point in their history. I don't know if anyone's paying attention to that. And they already have a robo-taxi. So I don't know how a guy in the White House who says, I will end the EV mandate, is going to suddenly make Tesla's technology better, come to market faster, and increases margins. Tell me how that's done. This is just a proximity trade. Trump is going to win. Musk supports Trump's. Tesla's going to win. It's just a proximity trade. No, I'm okay doing this. I'm comfortable. 264. Man. Oh man, look at TLT down 213. Ouch. I don't like that, but I just got my other IWM at 230. Good, good, good. Ways to increase investment confidence. Do you think buying out of the money put to start with is a good idea? Well, a strategy doesn't increase your confidence. Being right increases your confidence, and betting small allows you to stay in the game longer than you normally would. When you bet big and it moves against you, usually you have to leave the trade. You can't afford to lose anymore. Bet small, bet safe, get a track record behind you being right. Not of listening to other people and saying, okay, well, I need to keep listening to other people to get my ideas, but being right on your own, a track record of being right on your own. Do you think high yield has rallied this year when every investment bank was recommending underweight? Why do you think high yield has rallied this year? Well, the spread on high yield is super freaking tight. It doesn't match the term premium on default free debt, that you would have such tight spreads when the term premium is so large. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Something in the market, you can't have all of these prices make sense. All of these prices cannot make sense. They all cannot be true. They all cannot be true, because that is one messed up system that you would have, where the higher the rate goes, the more safer the debt, the high yield companies become. Oh, the cost of your debt went up. That makes you safer. Your spread should be smaller. That makes no sense in this world. It doesn't make any sense. So none of these moves make any sense. They are all election moves. They are all in response to this. Everybody is playing the shot right in front of them. Nobody's lining up their white ball for the next shot. Everyone's just playing the shot right in front of them. And I like events like this. I like days like this when the market is this stupid or willing to be this stupid. I like days like this because this is where opportunity lies. It doesn't lie in chasing momentum. It lies in big moves that don't make any sense, where you can take advantage of prices that don't belong where they belong. It's uncomfortable while it goes on, and I'm sure tomorrow it'll continue on for a little bit, but I'm not taking big full positions right now. I'm chipping away at a number of places, and I'm comfortable with that. IWM still sitting around 230, Tesla 265. I'll do it again at 270. TLT 9055. I have to take that. Give me a second. I'm going to add to that position. Although I got a lot of TLT, this just doesn't make any sense to me. Let's do it again. And let's do it. Oh, I can't do it through that interface. Sorry. Give me a second. I have to do it through this interface if I want overnight. Yeah. There we go. 100. What is going on here? Close that. There it is. Okay, set my overnight. Good. What price now? 90.42. All right. All these other little windows kept popping up. Wouldn't a tariff on China will hurt the U.S. economy like inflation, all the other? Already answered that. You were on my recommended. Oh, I don't know what that is. You could pay someone to set your streaming rig up just the way you like it with the blackboard. Sure. Yeah. It's just a matter of finding somebody. Well, you know what? I could just call somebody from IT over from Serify and just say, look, can you can you set this up for me? There is somebody who lives not too far from here. Market data connection lost. Market data connection reestablished. Oh, isn't that annoying? When you're trying to get something done, market data connection lost. And then 2 seconds later, reestablished and then lost and then reestablished. That's why I turned that guy's voice off, because it's just enough. It's enough of that. All right. When would you cut your loss on TLT? I would not. I would not. Are you familiar with views on housing prices, home building, and mortgage rates? Their views. I don't know who there are. Really like the TLT and the BCE videos. Brings back the kind of style you used in the weekly updates, and doing the live event on Wednesday sounds like a good idea. Given your audience, I doubt you'd need to worry much about doxing yourself with OBS, but it's a growing concern for most people that stream nowadays because people are weird on the internet. People are weird, are weird everywhere. What do you think about Palantir earnings? They are pricey. If you look at their, you can't use their PE on this one. You have to use rule of X or rule of 40, which looks at the combination of their growth rate and either their operating margin or free cash flow or EBITDA margin. There's so many variations. And you, whatever growth they have, multiplied by 2. So if they have revenue growth of, let's say, 30%, multiplied by 2, you get 60, and add their cash flow yield onto that. A good company has a combined number of about 65 to 70. Palantir is, I think, above 80. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania are now Democrat. Her pathway just opened up. She can't get Ohio, but if she can keep Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and take Arizona, you know. I'm going to scroll right to the bottom and just read up now. When you fast, do you still drink coffee? Yeah. How much do you have before breaking your fast at 3 p.m.? I don't know. Do you add maple syrup? No. Thoughts on metallurgical coal companies? I don't really have much thought on metal on them. It's just not something I've looked at. There's my TLT at 90.42. Just got that. Tesla at 268. Let me put my 270 in. Where are we? There it is. Oh, that's just verifying. And let's go to 268. Let's go to 270. Let's roll. Well, I get 270.31. How does that sound? 270.31. Good. By the way, don't copy me. I'm comfortable doing this. Because I know how to protect myself if things don't go my way. I know how to work myself out of trouble to some degree. So don't copy me. I'm playing the initial reaction, which I believe is wrong. I do think, based on the map right now, it looks like it's going to be a Trump win based on what I'm seeing on the map. You need Arizona and Nevada are going to be critical. For Harris to win at this point, she would have to hold Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, take Nevada and Arizona, 5 of the 7 swing states. Virginia, North Carolina, and Georgia still aren't really called yet. Minnesota is too early to tell for Minnesota. Wisconsin, she doesn't have much of a lead there. Michigan, not really enough there. Pennsylvania, she's really lost her lead in Pennsylvania as well. Colorado, that I don't even know why they don't call Colorado right away. It tends to be blue. It's looking more and more like it's going to be Trump. Popular vote, 33.7 million on Trump, 30 million on Harris, but we don't have California yet. So what's your source of info? Source of info for what? Let's see. Do you think that Trump will stop the nearshoring excitement in Mexico reflected in the peso in the last 2 years? I think both candidates, and I think all candidates, say a lot of stuff to get elected. They say a lot of stuff to get elected. Whatever you want to hear, they say it. Trump brings it to a new level because no matter what room you put him in, he'll say, who's here? All these people like Kentucky Fried Chicken. I love people who love Kentucky Fried Chicken. We're going to open up the Kentucky Fried Chicken store so that everyone can get it. You're never going to have Kentucky Fried Chicken like under me. It's going to taste better. It's going to be cheaper. We're going to get the price. He'll say whatever he thinks he has to say. So a lot of what he said is just pandering. Same with her. It's just pandering. Put me in a room. Who's here? Okay, I'll tell them they'll get everything they want. I'll tell them they'll get. Are they? Are they? I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so, and I'm willing to bet on it, as you can see. Okay, where are we here? Being hour and 47 minutes. We'll do another 15, and then I don't know that it's, we want to keep this going for, we're not going to, I don't know that we're going to get a winner anytime soon. Pennsylvania is 32% counted and getting tighter. Michigan is 13% counted and getting tighter. And Wisconsin is super tight with 20% counted. I think the Harris camp might be thinking about their concession speech. I can't see them. Yeah, I think it's a Trump victory from where we stand right now. It's looking like it's going to be a Trump victory. Any thoughts? Anybody think the same thing out there? The map's a tough one. Is a tough one for Harris right now. Really tough. I'm assuming you're going to tune into the All In podcast live stream as well. Oh, I can always watch that on replay. Did you ever work in asset management for corporation? No, I've never had a job. Maybe bank fund? No. BCE thoughts. I put a video up today in the positions video, in the positions folder on BCE, just on the acquisition, and then Friday they have earnings on Thursday. Friday I'll cover earnings and then sort of give you my thought on that. I'm assuming you're going to the okay. Already did that. What's your strategy with TLT? I notice you sell options as well. What is your strategy with options? Right now, my strategy is just being to get positive delta on it. It's still a small position of my overall portfolio. I shouldn't say it's small because I do have a whole bunch of treasuries, 2041s, 2048s. But if you think about a 60-40 portfolio, I'm not at the 40% yet. Okay, already answered those. And okay, well, there's the questions. Let's just run through our list here again. Let's see what we're looking at. We're looking at the peso. Oh, look at that, 2065. 2065. I think it could have an uglier night than this. 2065. I'll add more at 2075. We have 90.50 on TLT, down 2.4%. That's an overreaction. You'd think that Tesla's winning, that Elon Musk is becoming president with the way Tesla's performing, but it doesn't belong there. I'm okay with this one. I didn't get did I get the 270 yet? No, I didn't get the 270. SPY. Let me look at my options. I did sell ES options and some MES options. Trump win and a Fed on Thursday. I think I'll keep them. They'll pay. And the other ones, I'll keep those as well. And just getting my... what is going on here? How come I'm not getting... okay. I'm looking at some numbers here. It's not my numbers. My P&L is not going to update past 8 o'clock. I'm looking at these going, what's going on? How come I'm not updating? I get it. I'm good. Oil prices of Trump wins versus Harris. Well, you don't have to ask me. All we have to do is just look in the market right now. Nothing, no reaction. You'd have to think that Iran is a little bit concerned. I'm sure Netanyahu is excited about this. Iran should be a little bit concerned, but the market seems unconcerned about the whole thing. Unconcerned where I think it should be concerned, and overly concerned where it should not be concerned. Yeah. It is what it is, right? No crazy reaction in Chinese markets. Here's what I have found. I have found that most markets are rational. The most irrational market is the US market. You can have something happen overnight, and trading across all markets follows a rational pattern. You'd say, well, I'd expect that, and I'd expect that. You look at futures, you say, well, I'd expect that. But you got to wait until about 7:30 in the morning when the Americans show up, because all bets are off. It's who knows which way you're going to go. Flip a coin. Who knows which way you're going to go. When you should be down, the market's up sometimes. And when you think, well, this is good news, oh, it's a massive sell-off. And it's like every other market seems to make sense to me, except the American market. And this has only been in the last 3-4 years where I have to wait a lot longer for rationality to come into certain positions. Or I think something will take a lot longer, so I take an initial position and the bloody thing runs and it 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 runs. It's like, okay, now it's gone to the point where I can't even buy this anymore because it's ridiculous. Like, wait for the fundamentals to show up. It's okay to push the price up, but at some point, can we just hang out here for a while and wait to see if this actually works out? But no. We run from, if the market believes that something that's $50 in 5 years will be $100. The market wants to get there in 2 weeks. Okay, there's $100. You said it would be $100. Why wait 5 years? Let's do it now. Well, then now what? Like, now what? Now you got to wait for perfection to happen for the next 5 years. And I think this is sort of where we are, especially on Tesla, is everything has to work out to justify, where are we, 80 times, 90 times forward earnings? Everything has to work out. Everything has to work out. But GM at 5.3 times forward earnings, there's a lot of room for forgiveness in there. There's no room for forgiveness in any of these multiples. Either you perform or you got to keep the hype going. You got to keep the hype going. Musk is a master at keeping the hype going, always keeping you looking on the horizon, just around the corner, just around the corner, just around the corner, just around the corner. These robots are working on their own. No, they're not. This car's driving itself. No, it's not. I mean, why he hasn't been charged for just outright fraud? I mean, the way he lies about stuff, I mean, that is misleading investors, misleading shareholders, but nothing. If GM did that and lied like that, it would be a controversy for how many years? It would be another Volkswagen controversy. But he seems to just get away with stuff that nobody else can get away with, or that nobody should be able to get away with. So I guess if you got enough money, the lesson here is, you can pretty much do what you want, right? Why is yuan depreciating? How high can 30-year go in a day? Well, every basis point up at this point is a basis point against growth, because everything is priced off the long end. This just I think almost cements the Fed going 25 basis points at each meeting, because they've got to get the long end of the curve down somehow, because this is financial tightening, which is what they do not want. They have full permission to go 25. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they actually went 50 to counteract the tightening going on in capital markets, because this is tightening. SPY will be supportive if Trump wins. Can you quickly explain your rationale for continuing to short it? It's not a long-term short. This is an overreaction trade that by the end of the week, rationality will come back in. We'll think about things. We'll say, well, that was a little much, wasn't it? Keep in mind that earnings have been mixed. Earnings estimates have been coming down. When companies miss by a penny, they get absolutely punished. Why? Because perfection was priced in. I'm okay with this. I am okay with these positions. If anything, short beta allows me to extend my long positions more than I would at these multiples. So if I'm short at very high multiples, I don't mind leaning in to lower multiple stocks even more than I normally would given a market at these levels. So it actually gives me permission. And even though the market has been going up and I've been short, I'm very tactical when I'm short. If I run a report and I look at the combination of SPY and ES, I'm still up on it for the year. I'm still up because it allows me to do things I normally wouldn't do if I wasn't short. So I get aggressive. Like, for example, before any of this started, I sold puts on ES and MES because I wanted to, as I was shorting, lower these positions in lockstep. So my average price on MES short was 100.3. We're at 63. So I'm up significantly on those short puts. And on ES, my average price was 91.95. It's now trading at 57. All today. So while the market was going up, these short puts were making money. And as I take profit on these, I'm now shorting SPY and flipping over to that. So I'm already ahead, knowing that I was going to do that anyways. So it's what you're seeing when I say I'm shorting. You might only see the short, but you don't see everything else that I've done. I am up nicely on the short puts on ES and MES, and I have doubled up on my shorts when we had a market sell off, that 100-point, 120-point sell off last week. I sold whatever I was short on SPY. I doubled and I sold 560 puts. Got 461 for the 560 puts. Well, you can't see right now because the market's not trading, but they're up quite a bit. So, I do more than just what you're seeing. So what do you think of CapREIT's price decrease? Time to re-enter? I have been re-entering. All utilities and REITs tomorrow, if TLT holds where this is, if yields hold where it is, these are gonna take a big shit tomorrow. All utilities and REITs are gonna take a big shit tomorrow. Beautiful. I'll take it. This is what I want. I don't want to have to buy on the way up. I don't want to have to do that. I want stocks that I like to come down, and I mean really come down, take a real dump. Thank you. I'll take them. I've been selling puts on CapREIT all the way down. If I see it break 45, it goes into 44, 43. I'll move to just buying the stock directly and selling puts. But the last time I had 64,000 shares in the 43 range, and it went all the way to 56. I've done that twice with CapREIT. Bought in the low 40s, sold in the 50s. This time I'd do 100,000 shares easy on this one. I'm a big fan of this one. I'm long SPY 590 by end of week. This is what makes the market so fun. Yeah. Hypothetical Trump decision to fire Powell. I don't know if he can actually fire him or he has to wait for his term to end and simply not renew him. Likelihood of it transpiring aside, with such a decision due to the yield curve and by extension TLT? I don't know. I imagine if you let the market take it, the market would send those yields right up and crush the economy. So Trump wants the economy to win. Anything that crushes the economy, he wants fixed. He wants lower interest rates. It wouldn't surprise me if this accelerates the decision to stop balance sheet runoff. I think it's at this point, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what the outcome will be. I hope we get a winner tonight so that it's over, so that it's just finally over. And then we can hear what the Fed says on Thursday. And then at that point, we've got a market, I think, that we can live with for a while. Where are we here? IWM, SPY, TLT. TLT is the one that is just a massive overreaction. TLT and Tesla, both massive overreactions. Wouldn't surprise me if much of this reverses tomorrow or Thursday, by the end of the week, maybe. Somebody said 590 on SPY by the end of the week. I'm not going to say no, because this market just shows itself absolutely willing to not just overpay for the market, but continually overpay. 22 times earnings, not enough. 23. I'll pay 23. I'll pay 23.5. This has never in the past ever worked out well. It's never worked out well. If it has, we would always be trading at 22, 23, 24 times forward earnings. If it's worked out in the past, we would always just do, because we'd say, well, this has always worked out before, but it's never worked out well in the past. So, I don't expect it to work out well this time. Ooh, the Harris camp can't be happy, can they? Wisconsin is now red. but tight. Pennsylvania, tight. Michigan, all of those three states, super tight. But it's looking like it's going to be a Trump win. Just looking at the popular vote, 38 million against 33 million, 33.8. Yeah. Where are we on time? We're almost 10 o'clock. We'll wrap it up in a few seconds here. How would you see a Trump presidency trying to fight inflation? What inflation? This idea about fighting inflation. What inflation? What inflation do we have? Inflation, when we say fighting inflation, that usually means, when we say there's inflation, a broad-based increase in the price level. We don't have a broad-based increase in the price level right now. We have a few items that have elevated prices. That's all. Prices of things go up, prices of things go down. Because the price of a couple of things are up does not mean that's inflation. It is not inflation. So we don't have inflation. So fight inflation. Fight what inflation? What inflation are we fighting? There is none. There is no need to have rates at these levels. I was one that was thinking the Fed should have cut in July, not wait till September. It was over. The fight is over. I think the fight was over at the beginning of the year. Supply is the best cure for inflation. Always the best cure for inflation. Why does CAPREIT keep coming back down? CAPREIT is going to move with yields. If we want CAPREIT to go up, we need yields to come down. It is going to price out like a bond. Are you worried about Trump pulling out of NATO? Not really. Potential tariffs on Canada? Well, he doesn't like Trudeau. He doesn't like Trudeau. So if he can punish Trudeau in any way, he will. He doesn't like Trudeau. I don't blame him on that. On that one, I'm right with him. Tight. Is that a Breaking Bad reference? I don't remember that on Breaking Bad. So, talking about low volume in trade, do you see volume in TLT as it's going down? Well, let's find out. I don't really watch volume, but they are big bid and asks. But I can find out if we've got. Oh no, I can't. I cannot find out for you if we have volume, because the chart. Is the light going on and off in here? Do you see it dimming and brightening? Oh well. No, I can't tell. The chart ends at 8. It's not going to start again till 4. That's the one problem with the overnight trading, is you don't have a chart in it. But let me see if I can open the book. Where is Book Trader? There it is. Yeah, I'm not getting much here other than the quantity on the bid and the ask. Not that much. Yeah, I'm not seeing that much. Like, small amounts of shares seem to be pushing it. I'm looking at in case you don't have it, I'm looking at the book, the trading book, which gives you level 1, level 2, so you can see all, and you can see how many shares clear. There's 500. No, volume is really low. That was the last trade was 500. There's 1,000. There's 100. Yeah, see, that's really slow trading, but it's overnight trading, so it's just jokers trading and overnight trading. Jokers like me. It feels like the everything just the lights just kind of dimmed. Am I right on that? Did the lights dim? It feels less bright. Oh well, maybe it's just me. Pennsylvania is now red. I don't have that. I have Pennsylvania still blue on Barron's, but it's like 49.6 to 49.5, like a difference of 3,000 votes, and you got 1.5 million votes. So it could be maybe you have updated information. Yeah, this looking at Senate 47 to 36, House 115 to 81. This is a sweep. This is a sweep if this continues on. Well, that's ugly. That's ugly for the Dems. That's ugly for the Dems. All right. I think we're good here. There's a lot of other good stuff going on out there. We're done here. 432. That was really nice. Hopefully you're all applied level subscribers. On Friday, I will lay out my positions. I'm sure with the Fed, I'll be getting aggressive on certain things, and we'll see if my short positions work out. In the meantime, be safe out there. Where are we on the peso? See, it's not that exciting. It should be 21, 21.5. That's what I'm waiting for. Big dump on the peso so I can grab that. Oh, well, maybe sometime in the night I'll get that. I'll put an alarm out on the peso. In the meantime, that's it. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Go have some fun. And I will have an apple and go to bed. Ciao.